Welcome back everyone to episode 9 of Let's Play Rule the Waves as Germany. So the last episode was very exciting. We demolished the Russian fleet. We can see that the remnants of the Russian fleet is now just 2 battleships in service. In fact, that was 1, I think, at the end of the battle. The problem is that I actually had to skip forward a few months because I did record I started recording episode 9, but we got into 2 engagements which were pretty boring, so I skipped them. One was interesting enough for an idea. It was an enemy was raiding our shipping, and I only had my 4 battleships, which was unusual and a little bit frightening. I want some escorts, but well, we're here. There was no action in that one, and then also a light cruiser of mine ran into one of their heavy cruisers in a cruiser engagement. They are also just dominating us in the raiding aspect. They're raiding so hard and destroying like 7 convoys per turn or so per month. Our unrest is at 3. Let's see what happens as we go on. I think we'll strike a balance. We don't really need the budget right now. Okay, yeah, there are a few things I keep mentioning every time I start recording a new video, but then I end up tossing the video. Advances torpedoes. Oh, good. Torpedoes doing more damage. Okay. Shell damage, good. Good. Cruiser action. So let's decline this. It's only 20 victory points, and we're so... this is exactly what it was. Raid on enemy shipping. And it ended up being 4 of my battleships. They never give me the 5th battleship. I wonder if that's just something to do with large fleet size? Or do they always try to leave 1 battleship out? I don't know. However, this was really boring, so I'm going to decline it. In that one, I just sailed around. We even spotted the enemy fleet with other ships, some of my coastal ships, but never encountered them after. I think it was a 1,000-minute fight too. So I mean, a 1,000-minute battle timer. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, there's a few things I wanted to cover from the previous videos. But my battleship that I'm currently building, it's kind of a dud. I neglected that there's. Oh my gosh, I actually have no idea which one. Is it the Alsace? Yeah. I have a whole bunch of tertiary guns here. If we look, it's 140 tons, I should say, of caliber 3 guns. Now, the good news is my caliber 3 guns are quality 1, so they're not the worst guns to accidentally put on your ship, but I feel like 6-inch guns are just better. I'm going to make, since we already bought them, they're not terrible ships. I mean, these are still quality 13, a broadside of 8, so it's not terrible, but I'm probably not going to build any more of them. Another thing is, in the previous battle, we saw that the ship sunk icon didn't appear. I suppose it's only appearing if you actually see this ship sink. Last note was, oh gosh, about the wind. Yes, I'll get into that. We'll get into that when I get into my next battle, but I've been neglecting the strength of the wind. Good, well, let's push forward. Enemy coastal raid. I'm going to decline those. I don't like this. I don't like this because even though we have a heavy cruiser and 3 light cruisers, and supposedly they don't have any heavy cruisers. Oh, 2 of their ships have been interned. 1 of their light cruisers and 1 of their heavy cruisers. It's only 50 victory points. We're up by like 7,000. No, yeah, about 7,000. So let's decline. I should point that out, that Russia has a few ships that are interned now. They weren't previously. But that just happened in the time span of between the end of the last video and when I started recording this one. Like I said, that one video where, ooh, superimposed X turret. Nice, very nice. Okay. Raid on enemy shipping. This is interesting. So I'm supposed to raid their shipping. No, I'm not interested. Fleet battle. Okay, this is one I can accept. Okay, here we go. Game time. So, I neglected to look at wind strength. Calm. Wind is calm north. Now this means that I actually don't need to consider too much the wind. Because if it's calm, that means the wind is not going to be affecting our shots anyways. I've just been looking at this, but this doesn't scale with the strength of the wind. And since it's calm, we don't need to worry about it. Thanks for Mr. Mangini pointing that out to me. It looks like all of our battleships are... Oh, we have 5 battleships. I was complaining how it doesn't seem like they ever bring our 5th battleship in, but they finally did. So to start this fight, oh, this is a fleet engagement, so this is really nice. We can just hit spacebar to move forward a few turns, and we should actually get the engagement. Can I change their... It does let me change their role, but not their formation. Well, let's leave them at scout. That's fine. And let's just run until we see the enemy. Unknown ship fires at somebody. What? Okay. Yeah, I would say that you're in a bad situation then, because they only have 1 battleship and 1 battlecruiser, and I suspect that this is going to be their battleship. So, what we're going to do is change you to scout support. Let's go to support, go to line ahead, and flank speed out of there. The wind doesn't matter, so let's just set a... They're going to turn towards... Just in case the wind does start to pick up, I might as well tilt down a little bit, because we want broadsides, right? However, in order to establish a Congo line like I prefer and not get into line abreast, if I just turn all these guys at the same time, immediately heading east-southeast, like our main group is, they'll go into like almost line abreast formation, because this is about a 90-degree turn. So what I'm going to do is wait for a turn or so for the second group before they turn, so that we keep following in the wake of the ship before us. So let's see how that works. That is their battleship. Good luck to you, Thetis. Only the gods can save you now. So another way I do this is sometimes I just move this unit at about 1/3 of the arrow of the previous unit. This kind of gets them to form battle formation anyways. The next thing I'm going to do is probably, let's go to 18. I don't know why am I choosing that versus anything else, but let's just do it. So, and because there's going to be a little bit of a rounding effect, what I should do is actually something like this. I should decrease the speed of the previous ones because we want, oh my gosh. Well, firing at the destroyers is good, but having this battleship firing at us is obviously really bad. What we'd like to do is lure this battleship in, which it might do. That would be wonderful. It's at this point almost like just trying to spring a trap. Okay, yeah, let's just go squad max. I neglected to do my adjustments. So you can see that unfortunately, because they still round the corner, unless you move directly at the ship's rear, unless my 2nd division moves at the 1st division's rear, then we're going to start rounding the corner, which means we're going to gain a little bit on them. So unfortunately, it's going to mess up our battle lines a little bit. I should have done that. The good news is this trap is being sprung. They only have 1 battleship. Actually, let's just head right at it. So with the second group of ships, I'm going to overcompensate to just kind of delay, lose a little bit of time. Make sure every group is going at least 17, just so whenever we do... Okay, so it is their battle cruiser. Now, I want to mention, I don't know how this became a battle cruiser, because with 19 knots, usually the game will auto-correct it to be a battleship. But for some reason this is a battle cruiser. Hopefully it doesn't matter and we just sink it, but it's basically exactly the same thing as the battleship. So it got the fancier turret layout. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like mine. The more historical rounded turret. Oh. Mine also have this? That's weird. Maybe this is... I'm not paying attention. I thought that you don't get this new turret upgrade model until you get battleships, the dreadnoughts, but I'm mistaken. Okay, so well, we kind of messed things up. This group has been going that way for too long. Okay, that is you practically out of range. That's good. I'm going to preemptively start heading where I think they're going to turn. And that's good. So let's have you swing kind of down and back up. Alright, we actually hit the battlecruiser with our light cruiser. Take that. Well, that's just for pride. I don't think it's going to do any good, unfortunately. I'm going to be very open about launching torpedoes as well, if our light cruisers decide that they want to. we're gonna let them. Although torpedo range is, yeah, pretty small. Okay, that's not gonna be something that comes into play right away. Now I kind of like our formation. Things are getting going well. We can send these guys a squad max as well. I'll let the Worth hold back a little bit before we get going squad max. Maybe we'll go 18. Okay, she's turning. It looks like she's going to turn south. We'll edge a little bit on her. We would definitely prefer broadsides, but okay, she's turning, so maybe we'll just turn south with her. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Which means that unfortunately some of our ships are going to be inactive for a little while. In fact, the Worth might even be able to become our fleet leader at this point. These guys are not going to be able to turn in time, but the Worth might be able to. Yeah, it does look like the Worth will be able to. She'll be a little bit more distant, but able to do... Whoa, Brandenburg, what are you doing, buddy? That's not at all what I want you to do. And now it's about time for our light cruisers to tow in. Wow, what the heck is the Brandenburg doing? I guess at this point we're kind of committed to getting out of the Brandenburg's way with the Zaringen and the Wittelsbach. So I'm going to keep these guys going northeast. They're going to be the weird guys for the group. And as we can see, I'm only getting like one turret from all these guys firing. That's just the worst case scenario. Because the more ships you have firing at a single ship, the worse your accuracy is. But that doesn't play into how many actual guns you're firing. So if I'm firing 4 guns or 2 guns, my accuracy is the same per gun. So basically, if you have less ships firing with more guns, you're much more accurate than if you have more ships firing with less guns. And I'm kind of in the extreme of the latter of those two, which is really bad. But that's okay, we will persevere. Let's just get some broadsides going on though. Okay, I think these guys are gonna have to swing this way still. The Worth is now getting broadsides, that's good. So let's get the Schwaben. No, we can't turn away. The unfortunate thing is we want to stay as close to the enemy ship as possible because their max speed and ours is the same. Both have 19 for our max speed. So they can elude us. Ooh, but if they do that, I'll be very happy. Yeah, that would make me very happy. Okay, let's see what's going on. We're getting broadsides from almost everyone now, so I suspect very soon we should start getting some hits. Let's continue to close the distance. One thing I should mention is all my ships are elite status. The gun crews on these guys are just been phenomenal. So we're expecting to hit them a lot more often because our crews are very well trained. They've seen a lot of action. I mean, just take the last battle as an example. My battleships are probably sinking about a battleship themselves each. So that's phenomenal. You can see the dotted yellow line stuff. It looks like our secondary guns are actually engaging the destroyers. And after I talk up my huge game about how great my crews are, Murphy's Law comes in and of course says that that'll be undone because the battlecruiser will hit me first. Even though this battlecruiser is not likely to have the crew training skill that I do. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Let's see if it continues like that though. That could be because I have so many ships firing at them that I'm having a harder time hitting. They're only firing, it's only one of them firing at at me. So they don't have multiple ships confusing the ranging. Why is the Wittelsbach? Oh yeah, because she has a turret inactive. Okay, that's fine. Our range to target should be so close right now. What is your actual range to target? Yeah, 7,000 yards. We're really close. So let's make a quick course correction because torpedoes, they have 2. Let's be a little careful about that. Keep the Worth heading. This one's okay though. Probably we're going to want to slow down our light cruisers a little bit, but yeah. Alright, finally our first hit. from the worth. You are so worth it. But here we go. Alright, so we're closing lines. Things are looking a lot better now with us getting like our whole battle line engaging. There we go. I think the hits are going to start coming fast and furious now. Especially because I'm going to try to stop changing course. Note that the torpedo range is not that far, so they almost surely do not have better torpedo technology than us. Especially because we were exchanging torpedo technology with Japan for a while. Okay, their torpedoes, their destroyers we have to be a little careful about. That's why I do like to have the light cruisers close by. There we go. I mean, this is all but this is a really unfair battle, right? They're actually getting some significant hits against me. I'm rather surprised. In the end, I think it will be all for nothing, because I'm presuming this will be an easy battle in the end. 5 against 1. It's just not the kind of odds you come away from. Okay, Worth, you have to change your course, unfortunately, but you're doing really well. Okay, now they're starting to turn. I guess I'll let the Worth turn. No, we better start turning as well. You never know what when they're trying to turn to escape, or whether it's just turning for another reason. Oh shoot, no. So we'll begin to take the bait and just start turning with them. Try to get as many hits as we can. What does it say? Heavy damage. Maybe one of our shells hit them hard. The good news is, if they are taking any serious damage, we should be able to catch them. I'm going to have the Wittelsbach and the Zaringen just head directly at them. I'm just going to preemptively assume that they are trying to disengage, in which case the Worth and the Schwaben group will continue to pursue with broadsides, but I'm going to have this group run directly at them, which could incite some destroyer action, but I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, we have 6-inch guns, we have our light cruisers. All of these guys should be getting a little bit better at gunnery too. Overall, technology is progressing. We're getting better, you know, like ranging, even though we haven't put central rangefinder on these guys. A lot of destroyer hits too. That's going to be very helpful for fighting off any torpedo barrages. Still getting those hits. Now it's a Schwaben, not the Worth, but we'll take it from anybody. Okay, so we'll have the light cruisers head directly at. Split the difference, kind of. Waiting for any kind of hits. Hits, 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 please. Give me some hits. Nobody, huh? If nothing else happens, we'll get our light cruiser to just make a torpedo run. Although they must be going slower because we're getting so close to them. Okay, let's have the light cruisers turn north, because it does look like the torpedo run will be made against the Zaringen and all them. Whenever they make those immediate course corrections that are pretty severe, I get a little nervous about torpedoes, so let's make a small correction ourselves. And back at them. Okay. I'm a little surprised we've done... Oh, good. So there's one that's sinking. These destroyers, I think, are all the 500-ton. Yeah, they're all the 500-ton variety. Which means it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that they were... these guys... Let's have them go 19, which is going to allow the secondary ship. Looks like the Schwaben is a little slow. That'll allow the Brandenburg to keep pursuing at max speed. Eventually the Brandenburg will just detach. Okay, she did exchange some fire, but the Zaringen's doing okay. Did not really hit. And since we're getting a few hits, let's leave the guys on the current course. Okay, that's going to be probably enough to prompt. Let me also make sure I turn off this flotilla attack. I'm just a little worried about these light cruisers launching torpedoes in a bad way. So we'll get these guys to come back in, that's fine. The light cruisers to chase off the destroyers. And then the Worth and the Schwaben are now going to be the main people involved. So it said sinking, now it's medium damage, which is a little worrisome, because that means, yeah, torpedoes. Oh, good, it's dead in the water. That's better. Okay. Yeah, I think we can probably start moving a little bit faster with this one. The result is nearly in hand. Fitzelsbach is getting 2. Oh, yeah, see, this is what I want to try to avoid, is my light cruisers being hit. They could get sunk. I don't think it's possible, but it's very improbable that this battlecruiser will sink any of my battleships. Turret flash fires aside. But, I mean, we're getting really close. They could launch torpedoes. That's one thing I should consider. Torpedo range, yeah, that's about at the edge of torpedo range. I'm not sure they'd be able to get a firing solution at max range, but the hits are starting to pour in now. It's quickly going to be the end of, yeah, she's going slower. She's probably starting to sink. Gonna send these guys even to try to engage those destroyers who can take any other free ships. The Worth and the Schwaben groups will be able to easily, let's get this guy to go squad max as well. We don't need anybody to elude or, you know. I'm even going to have them specifically target the destroyers. Because these guys aren't going to target the destroyers. So, yeah, here we go. The gun hits are pouring in now. You guys are actually engaging the destroyers. Good. That's fantastic. Yeah. Worth got hit by the Nikolai, but that's fine. She's dead in the... Oh my gosh, we launched torpedoes. Oh god. I think we'll have enough time to turn hard, yeah, to port. We do. So 2 torpedoes is very likely going to sink her. So we'll have the Worth continue on. Is that real damage Worth? No. Turret jammed. Okay, good. Yeah, I could have just looked at the model and seen that it was... Whoops. Grayed out. That would have been my first indication that the damage I see on the damage bar is... Oh, they actually missed with their torpedoes. Huh. Okay, well, no use having the Worth come along. We'll send these light cruisers back in eventually to get some torpedo runs, but for now, let's get them to go up like this. We're crushing them. Okay, 1 more minute, maybe 2 more minutes. Yeah, we got some hits. I think we could sink one of them. More hits. Stuff's going on down here. I'm assuming that she's not going to fire torpedoes at us. Really risky. I don't think a single torpedo would sink us. I mean, we did have a battleship, one of our battleships sink from less, but see if we can just get lucky with one of these destroyers. Pretty soon we're going to be out of range and we're going to have to come back anyway. Because, oh, our sight range, oh, but the sight range is going to close very soon. Got 1 last hit, that's probably all we're going to be able to get. Unfortunately. We know the Imperator's sinking, let's just remember where she's at. Well, that's cool. We have this ship as a reference point, so we know it's just northeast of that. So let's keep going. Probably AI control now? Nope, still going. Ah, there it is. Okay. Well, it was fun while it lasted. We did do some serious damage to those destroyers, so I'm going to go ahead and just move up to fast speed and let the game continue to run. All the ships will go to AI eventually. We'll set this guy to be AI controlled as well. Since everyone's AI, now all we're going to do is march around and sink the Imperator Nikolai, and then hopefully detach to pick up survivors. Not that it really matters, but it's a few extra points. Also, I want to make sure we get the most amount of points that we can out of this, which you can only do by really smothering the ship in fire. Okay, there. Now, let's go ultra fast and just kind of drive over the corpse a few times, run over all the poor sailors that are in the water. I'm just trying to stimulate the, would you like to detach the blah 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 to pick up survivors, which I would say yes to, but no, not giving me that option. Okay, let's go cruise mode too. So, oh my. I did mention, of course, that Russia has a battleship as well as a battle cruiser. In fact, I think they have 2 battleships now. I'm seeing 2 rather big ships. We have a light breeze, which is going to favor us in this engagement if it goes as it is. Unfortunately, I'm definitely not prepared. We have people just going to different speeds, and we're all going slow, which is going to make us pretty vulnerable. Well, let's see what happens. Okay. Let's not do flotilla attack yet. I'm going to turn, and we're going to prepare to identify them. There it is. Yeah, they're definitely in torpedo range, which is not good. So turn hard. But we need to maintain the Congo line formation. This is dangerous. I'm guessing we could very quickly have ourselves a torpedo hit here. But you know what? The chance to finish off the Russian Navy is just too tempting. We're going to pursue. We're going to pursue hard. We are getting some hits. I mean, even if my ships are damaged, heck, even if they sink one of our ships, they're doing a lot of turning, which should hopefully... Ooh, fire control damage, that's not good. Prevent them from hitting us, all that turning. Oh, that is actually a light cruiser. I thought it would for sure actually just a destroyer. And a heavy one too, 6,400. I've already done really significant damage to it. Oh, that's because the Worth is basically driving right at her. Well, I'm sure that our maneuvers are going to confuse her torpedo runs at least. We're still getting good hits. Mostly 6-inch ones, unfortunately. This is so strange. Okay, let's have the Worth do a little jiggling. Try to lose her. And the light cruisers need to come back. Come on, these are the destroyers. Okay. Lots of maneuvering. Lots of maneuvering. Another hit, but it was from medium. That's good. And we got another 12-inch hit. Okay. 2 more 12-inch hits. Fantastic. To the invisible target. Still not sure why that happens. Let's have our light cruisers continue to engage over there. Actually hit with this night. I mean, the 6-inch hits are nothing to scoff at. It's pretty serious. 2 on the light cruiser, which is actually, you know, a destroyer. Lots of hits. Are they all the same target? They are. Good. Okay, this one's going 17. Let's drop you down to 17 as well. I'm going to have you be kind of the free roamer, Worth. So you're at risk for getting torpedoed, but at the same time, at least you're not in a actual formation. You're operating solo. So I'd rather you be doing crazy things by yourself. We're getting some good hits on this ship. It's probably pretty severely damaged. We're going to have to watch out for torpedoes because these ones do have 4 submerged torpedo tubes. So let's close in and just give them a really strong broadside while the Worth just goes crazy over here along with my light cruisers. Okay, we're actually launching torpedoes. I don't know why. I don't have flotilla. They do launch torpedoes on their own, but I try to prevent that unless I'm in... Oh! Oh, okay, just the destroyers are firing at the Worth. This is extremely dangerous, mind you. It's not advisable. We'll probably see why it's not advisable in a second. But I'm rolling the dice to end the Russian threat immediately. Okay, this one's on fire. It's heavy damaged. I think she's gonna sink. Another hit. Okay, from destroyers, I'm not concerned. It's a little surprising we can't hit them yet. Let's keep pulling the Worth away. Avoid those torpedoes. Okay, good. This is good. This is good. Have the light cruisers tow in as well. Okay. We actually hit this battleship with one of our ships. I think the Worth is going to go on the other side of Pyrenee. Schwaben is going to go squad max to try to catch this battleship. And the Zorinjin will kind of move behind her to take a pass at this. Probably sinking. Oh, the Schwaben's out of main ammo. Well, that's not ideal. Maybe we'll let that battleship go then. Okay, we don't need any ramming involved here. Getting lots of good hits now. Extremely dangerous, like I said, just charging full speed through their lines, but surely this is a sinking ship. Let's see. We did have a destroyer hit our light cruiser, but that's fine. Avoid torpedoes is important. Good, no torpedo hits. It's kind of crazy that we're doing this, but mind you, these ships have already been close to us for so long that it's possible they've already launched their entire torpedo group. We're hoping, at least. Okay, I'm gonna make the decision. We're officially calling off the pursuit of the other battleship, and we're gonna officially just pursue sinking the Pyrenee here. So let's just make some really dramatic maneuvers. If we want, we can possibly sink some more destroyers. We're gonna avoid torpedo hits ourselves by acting in an erratic manner. That torpedo looks deadly. Okay. Oh wow, 4 hit. Oh yeah, that's a that's a sunk ship. Let's take this one off AI control. Okay. Did they go into? Yeah, they went into line abreast. So we'll take off turn together, which enables us to turn off line abreast, and then we'll turn off line abreast. Get the light cruisers to continue to make a run at the destroyers, just to make sure they aren't getting any other ideas. But at this point, oh wow, yeah, we have another destroyer here. We've really done a number on them, huh? Is this the Schwaben? Who do I have here? Yeah. I forgot who my core group is. Nope, this is the Schwaben. Okay, so let's send the Schwaben a little bit north because that's our control group. So we don't want to get out of the sight range of our command group, our flagship. These guys can continue to head towards the Pyrenee. They did take a torpedo hit, but they might not be dead quite yet. Looks like the Worth's actually trying to finish them off anyway. Okay, so that one's sinking for sure. And we want to try to get this one last destroyer before we're done. Can I get you intentionally to focus on the other? No. Okay, well that's fine. Schwaben will just continue to head up to support, and you guys will make another pass at the Pyrenee. Okay, and we hit not the right one. Come on. Good, that's good. Okay, 3 more 6-inch hits. That might even just end it right there. Good. Okay, fantastic. I think we've done it all. We got all the ships we need. Now it's all over but the crying. Good, which is going to bring this episode to a close in a very timely manner, actually. We can try to avoid the 40-minute episode length. I prefer not to go too long. We were very aggressive there. What would I say about this battle let me just put everyone to AI control at this point and turn off torpedo firing as well. I would say that we were very aggressive. It was it wasn't like insane aggressive. Like stupid aggressive, but it was risky aggressive. We kept turning our ships, which did decrease our ability to hit by a little bit. However, the fact that we went that close to them, obviously that's very risky when they have a lot of torpedo tubes. It's getting later, you know, we're at 1906. By 1910, you probably want to stop doing what I'm doing because torpedo technology is good enough at that point. Oh, they missed with the torpedo. I'm glad that they fired it now while I'm still paying attention, because now I'm probably going to stop paying attention. Oh. Don't run. It was oh my gosh, I thought the Worth was going to smack right into him. Okay, that's another torpedo. That one looks... What the hell are you missing? It's a stationary target. Okay, but certainly it's... Oh, what? We lost sight of the target. Does that mean the battle? No. Who's left? I don't even know who's left. Maybe the battleship's coming back? Well, we'll go to cruise mode here. I mean... Not cruise mode, but we're just going to zip around, see if we can catch the last remaining battleship. And there we have it. So, I would say this is another very successful engagement. It was a little lopsided because although they technically had 3 total heavy ships that are about equal to mine, we engaged them piecemeal. We first destroyed their battlecruiser. And then we saw the 2 battleships. We were also at really close range. That actually probably should have given them the advantage. Oh, and it turns out that this was supposed to be about sinking their merchant ships, but we won't be too sour about that, because even though we didn't... Wow. Even though we didn't sink any merchant ships, we walk away sinking one of their battlecruisers, which again, I'm still confused if you can call this a battlecruiser, but... It is 18,000 tons. That's... I didn't expect that. I didn't know that. Wasn't really paying attention, so it gives us a very high score. And then one of their normal battleships, which, you know, they don't have the 2 double pairings, the 2 double turrets, which is better. But they're still reasonable battleships, something to be feared by my battleships. You know, comparable. Worse, but comparable. So our original points were 217. That doesn't make sense. How are theirs 231? I guess if you count installations, these also have some point values. Okay, maybe. But the score is eventually, what, 80,000 to 2,600? Is that what I see? Yeah. There it is, 80,000 and 2,600. Okay. Good engagement. So, oops, I didn't need to do that. I will save the game, of course, but another 2 prestige points. Fantastic. So we're off to a really good start. If we can stop them from raiding our lines and take our unrest down a little bit, well, let's face it, this war's over. We're now at a 4-1 victory point advantage. That victory point advantage numerically is 12,000 victory points. Really hard for them to overcome that. Not only that, but they don't even have any ships left to sink us. Like, okay, let's see. I have 4 new nice battleships in the making, 5 currently still in service, and they're down to just 1. Yeah, that's it's about as one-sided as it gets. Well, thanks for watching this episode, and stay tuned for more complete slaughter of the Russian fleet. Hopefully a quick conclusion to this war and a quick peace. Hopefully that all happens in the next episode. Until then, take care.